Hello again, everyone. Hello, people of Whole Foods.
Hey.
Can you hear me in the back? Raise your hand. Okay, good. This is called Moonshine. I've been working on it this past few days, mostly last night. I ran into Dwight on Wednesday, and at Stone's Barrel, and he said, are you ready for the reading on Friday? So, yeah, all set. So I had to write this thing last night. I got halfway done. So what we're going to do now is we're going to finish it. So I'm going to improvise half of this poem. You see the man over there by the door? The great patience, cloxing, sore, knees, tile, backs cart, rings the marriage of man and machine. And there will be anything else for you who have seen the moon making a patio surplus that you do not attempt to chart. And you're sitting out there on the patio, and you run into somebody naked who's the third last person you'd want it to be. If you had to come up with a list. Okay, a surplus of the mind. And do, please, Kidado in the spirits aisle, find bottled at inflated prices something to shake you from the conveyor belt of your life. Spilling all over the place, moonshine, wish you willing. Having seen several beverages, you have selected your wife. So the other day, on Monday, I went to, this is like a 6-part story, this is part 1. I went to this protest march, and I didn't know it was a march. I thought it was just like a lecture sort of thing. But no, it was an actual thing. So we marched to the courthouse, a bunch of clergy, and they, wanted to pray on the courthouse and anoint it for justice and all of that. The only trouble is interesting, so we'll get to that later. Ah, those peanut butter and jelly crushes. Ah, those footsie Pop-Tarts and Capri Sun blushes. Like a benign tumor, you got it into your head. How did you even get it in there? It doesn't look like there's much space. You guzzle them at a well within the normal range pace. And now look at you, you're old, some of your former lovers are already dead. So we get to the courthouse, right? And it's defended by a bunch of these Homeland Security people. And so they set up this barricade because they knew we were coming. Because the St. Louis Police Department has an intelligence unit. I don't know if you all know this, but the county, the city, they have intelligence officers, just like the FBI, CIA, funded by the feds, that sort of thing. So we get there and there's a barricade. And they say, if you cross this barricade, we're going to arrest you and we're going to get out the chemical weapons. So there was a moment of deliberation amongst the leadership. So I'll let you all think about what they've decided while I read the next stanza. When you all came in here, hungry for lox and limited quantities of beer, you protein consumers, you carbohydrate depositories, the last time there was a full moon, there was more than enough to go around. When brie falls and the forest doesn't make a sound. I could have sworn the bells of freedom would wait. So you either classify yourself as arrestable or not arrestable. I didn't have to go to work the next day, so I said, all right, I'll join. So I jumped this barricade, and we linked arms, and we faced off against the Homeland Security people, and we pushed them back, and we ran around and had a sit-in at the federal courthouse. And eventually the local police showed up, and started handcuffing people one by one with their little plastic riot handcuffs. It was all very civil. We had a nice time, we had a nice stay. I could have sworn folks would give capitalism a chance. I could have sworn, but I'm glad I didn't. The corsage, the dance, county girls and city lights. Is it the color or the source? You know the street lights I'm talking about, of course. But you dropped it, didn't you? So we were handed over by 3 different agencies. So we were entangled with Homeland Security, arrested by the St. Louis Metropolitan Police, and delivered into the custody of the U.S. Marshals. And they're all very different. They have their own little thing. The funny thing was, though, before I got arrested, I put my phone on the audio recording on, so I captured what they were talking about in the property room where they kept all our stuff. You get arrested and take all your things. So I captured these U.S. Marshals and federal agents talking about the protests. It was very, very interesting. Civil rights. Those protests you could understand, but these riotous nights, these angry masochisms, hashtag all stores matter. Oh, come on, though. You were a child then. Were you there when Dr. King and his dream got shot? When they got Malcolm, Kennedy, when the bomb was thrown? No. You were at play, getting fatter. You were falling off a swing in the 60s after a white flight. You had sisters and brothers, and if your clothes weren't too loose, they were tight. Your pop's not with us anymore. But was he ever? Too young for the big glorious war, but don't worry, there's more. His big brother got drafted in Vietnam, and he never came back, did he? Never came back from the war. You might want to check out the seasonal values. They've got some lovely flags, the perfect size for tombstones. And by the way, that's a lovely blazer you've got there. I bet the slave who made it has a lovely view of a river gone gray and clumpy with your lovely consumerist excrement. But I bet you got some lovely pictures. I bet some lovely pictures of you and your lovely family. Just lovely. How has your daughter been? I always thought she was lovely. You know, I heard she's writing poetry now. Isn't that lovely? I bet all she writes about is how y'all so damn lovely. In this recording I made, the U.S. Marshals were saying, why did these protesters cross the barricade, when we threatened chemical weapons on them? We told them to arrest them. And the Homeland Security guys said, as William would say now, snake-like topography, indolent, deliberate, and which stubborn, scaly outgrowths on every rooftop. Wait. I will poke you, prod, timber, chestnut, why not? Not chippy, try. Fence me in. It binds me. When I walk the streets of this city, which has been allowed to decay, it requires of me, it whispers when to stand and when to sit. From the bottom of my amygdala, thanks for those times when there was only one set of footprints. Thank you, that which listens, for showing me the way. Huh? Thank you for creating us in your image. Thank you for freeing us to know evil when we see it. Thank you for demolishing the way you've demolished and redeveloping the way you've redeveloped. Thank you for teaching us to love each other and pay unto Caesar what used to belong to us. Thank you for refusing to die when we tried to kill you. Thank you. Thank you, that which listens. Thank you for listening. Thank you. Do you all remember Edward Snowden? I mean, can you believe it? If you don't like America, go then. I was walking naked in the moonlight the other night, and you wouldn't believe what I saw. I saw another man walking naked in the moonlight, and I said to him, "What are you doing in my dream?" And he said, "Dude, I'm Edward Snowden. I'm here on behalf of a scream. I'm here on behalf of Terror on Wheels. I'm here on behalf of the law." And it cuts off there because I forgot page 3. You know, that's life, isn't it? Thank you all. Thank you all for listening.